welcome back to my Transformers Prime episode reviews. Today we're taking a look at the episode Flying Mind. In this episode, Megatron introduces Dark Energon into the Nemesis' engine core in an attempt to get it flying again. But it has the added side effect of awakening the sleeping mind within the ship's walls. Following the events of the last episode, the Nemesis is grounded. I like how when Soundwave plays back the security footage of Bulkhead wrecking the ship's engine core, he does the old Blade Runner zoom and enhance. Of course, since Soundwave doesn't talk, he doesn't actually say that, but we all know that he was thinking it. So Megatron thinks that Bulkhead being on the Nemesis and damaging the ship's power core was a deliberate and planned attack orchestrated by Optimus Prime. I wonder if this plays into any of his decisions in the future. Although, Megatron isn't exactly wrong about Optimus Prime being more ruthless than he used to be, as he actually considers using the spark extractor on the Decepticons while they're vulnerable. The Decepticons load up a cube of Dark Energon into the Nemesis' power core, changing all the blue lights to purple, and changing all the screens to red. Don't you just hate it when someone tampers with your computer's color scheme? The Autobots attempt to deploy the spark extractor, but the ship's stasis beam incapacitates the Autobots. I wonder if this is like the tubes that we'll see in this week's G1 Retro review.
The spark extractor! Guide us closer so that I may collect what belongs to me and destroy the Autobots.
But the ship doesn't follow Megatron's orders.
Where are you going? I said closer!
Lord Megatron, the ship seems to be navigating itself.
Override!
The systems are bypassing manual control.
The Decepticons soon come to realize that the ship has a will of its own.
I am Lord Megatron. I command you to cease operations.
You are no longer in command.
Very reminiscent of Galvatron and Unicron in Transformers the movie. Also, these laser grids are very reminiscent of the one in the first Resident Evil movie. Although, I'm guessing actually dicing up the Viacons and Insecticons into little cubes would have been far too violent for this show. Not to mention costly to animate. The Autobots, well, more like Ratchet and the humans, attempt to contact Megatron, but they end up getting the Nemesis itself.
Priority 1. Decrypt Iacon database and recover Decepticon technology.
For what purpose?
I guess the writers couldn't come up with that. The humans infiltrate the Nemesis in order to download the Iacon database. The Nemesis is on its way to Manhattan, which would be far from the first time that the Transformers would go to New York City. Jack tricks the ship into hitting Megatron in the butt? Okay. Which in turn causes him to pull the ship's lever, which dumps the Dark Energon from its systems, returning it to normal, as well as everyone else that was in stasis, somehow. The humans return home, and now the Autobots and Decepticons must race to each of the 4 sites decoded by the Nemesis' computer in order to recover the Iacon relics before the other side does. But that's for future episodes. Well, this was an okay episode. Obviously, the main point of this episode was to set up the Autobots and Decepticons against each other in future episodes as they try to be the first to reach the relics. Kind of like the Autobots and Decepticons in Transformers Armada whenever they detected a new Minicon signal. It is kind of disappointing that they bring the ship back to life, and never do they mention the fact that it was once Trypticon, as this show is supposed to be part of the same aligned continuity as the War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron video games.
Soundwave, report!
Trypticon remains in deep stasis. Power core at 63% integrity. Catalytic overdrive generator is severely damaged. Estimating repair time.
No, there will be no repairs. Trypticon, if you can hear me, understand this is not a rescue mission. Despite your great power, you failed to destroy the Autobots. You failed me. Henceforth, your chassis will be altered and redesigned to my specifications.
Megatron, in his damaged state, Trypticon's alternate form will become permanent.
All the better. Soundwave, initiate the Nemesis protocol.
Indeed, the only reference to the ship being Trypticon is on one screen, which you can barely even see, that displays a schematic of Trypticon's Dino mode, or robot mode, whatever you want to call it. Does that mean that Trypticon was trying to figure out a way for him to transform again? Is that why he wanted the Iacon relics? Who knows? This episode did feel a little reminiscent of the Beast Wars episode, A Better Mousetrap. Of course, the difference between this episode and that one being that Rat Trap was able to avoid all of Sentinel's traps, while the Decepticons weren't able to avoid Trypticons. I'm not sure if that says that Rat Trap is better at avoiding traps than all of the Decepticons, or that Trypticon has a better security system than Sentinel. Well, let me know what you thought of this episode down in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, and do all that other fun stuff. And I'll see you here next week for the next episode of Transformers Prime, Tunnel Vision. Secret tunnel! Secret tunnel! Well, I'll see you back here next week for that.
Autobot Outpost Omega-1 to Decepticon warship.
So, what are you wearing?
Blue overcoat, fedora,
You really stink at this.
orange socks.
It hung up? Rude.